So this week we're in Costa Rica, just outside of San Jose at La Lucha, which is the best downhill track out here in Costa Rica. And we're racing the Costa Rica Open, which is a UCI race here. And a good chance for us to test ride everything on a real racetrack before the season kicks off. Yeah, so we had track walk and practice and qualifying so far, and I think it's been going as good as it can. I feel super comfortable on these new bikes. I feel aggressive on the track. I feel much better than I've been riding the past couple years, so it's a really good feeling to be comfortable and confident and riding the way that I want to. The bikes have been working really good. I rode both the low pivot and the high pivot during practice. And then qualifying, I decided to ride the low pivot. I think for me, the low pivot is a faster race bike. It's not as comfortable in the rough sections and it's a little bit tougher to ride, but I think in any sport, a faster race bike, race car, whatever it is gonna be harder to ride. So try to just look at what's the fastest option, because that's the goal, we're racing. It was a good run. It was pretty dark in the woods and it was misting a little bit, like light rain the whole way. At the top it was lightly doing it and I had tear-offs on my goggles and I got in the start gate and took them off and gave them to Ancho because I didn't want to mess with it, and I regretted that. When I got on the Cabriel section, the water was speeding up on my goggles, so it was hard to see in the last section, and I don't know, it might not have been the best thing to be last on today, but it's something that happens at the races and you learn from it and get experience for when this would happen at a World Cup. So I was pretty happy with it. The South American dudes were pinned, only won by a little bit, but really good first race. First race, first place, that's not too bad. And we'll keep it rolling next week, maybe race the other bike. So trip's off to a good start.
Hi, I'm Mancho Perez. I'm from Spain. I'm going to be Neko's mechanics for this season, 2022. In a World Cup, I've been doing this for 3 years now. This is my third season, and I started in Whitey the Mob, ranging for Angel Suarez. I studied for workshop mechanic in a car, auto mechanic, but I never really worked on that. And then I started riding downhill bikes, and I'm here now. I don't know how you say that. There's a lot of things, you know? It's different if you work in a shop and you range for a normal guy. He's not going to feel any difference on the bike. But the guy like Neko is going to feel everything you can do on the bike for him. And my target is, when he grabs the bike, he'd only take care about the lines on the track, not about the bike. The bike must be perfectly dialed. When he told me his idea for this season, I was super interested on that, because usually, like a normal World Cup mechanic, you don't have the opportunity to go too deep into the bike development. Usually the bike came from the factory and you only can make a slightly change, like chain ring or a few things. And in this bike is completely a prototype, so you have to file spots, or it's completely a racing bike, a racing machine, I think. I mean, we can try to have the best bike for racing World Cups. Obviously this track is not the best to really check the bike. It's not that steep, or the speed is not like in a really World Cup track. So I think we have a lot of work to do. So it's going to be interesting this season for sure.
This weekend we're back at the same venue for the Pan American Continental Championship. It's the Continental Champs for North and South America, and it's a pretty big UCI race, so a lot of points on the line. Now that we're racing on the track for the second week, it's pretty beat up and rough, which is a really good chance to test the bike in race conditions. They changed a few sections which keep it interesting and fun to ride. There's a couple line choices out there that are different. Most of the track being the same, it'll be easier to get up to speed quick and have a good weekend testing the bike more than learning the track.
How's the day?
I don't know why, but I have not been this nervous for a race in a long time. I think maybe like now that it's all my thing, obviously I care a lot, but I really wanted to win. And these guys, Roger, Magnus, they were pinned all weekend. I think for all the South American riders, this race is really important, so they take it very seriously. And I knew I could be faster because I could be more consistent through the track. I just had to put it together. And the track was super blown out in the race. Some corners were leading you off the trail, but at least it was the same for the last couple guys. And I had a pretty sloppy run, but I feel like I made up for it in some spots where I could and did what it took to win. So we can look back on the first trip as a success with 4 timed runs, 4 wins. Now I can go home and watch Supercross and sleep.